Yes, thank you. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to be about routing, but let's see. So good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm Salam Yamout. I'm based in Amsterdam, and I'm the Partner Engagement Manager for Netflix, responsible for Africa. So we are an entertainment company. I always like to start like this. Yes, we do have a technology component, but basically we make films, a lot of films, and we stream them. So we have reached 230 million subscribers worldwide, and we have 100 million on top of those, like a third, that share password. So, yes, it's coming. You're going to be receiving this email. So we have one application in 80 countries, and it works on desktop, laptop, TV, tablet, mobile phone, all languages. We call it the product, and then we do some crazy stuff with it. So what's new at Netflix? I didn't have enough slides, so I'm going to talk them. So as you know, we started our first live show on the 12th of March. We transmitted live an American comedian, David Rock, Chris Rock. Yeah, live. About 1 million people watched it live, but none of these people were in EMEA because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. But this is something that we are going to repeat. So a lot of things are changing in Netflix. We will be doing live. We are going to chase the password thing. We're doing business with ads, which is a new plan that has ads in it that will be placed at a lower price for people who want to do this. And also, we're filtering routes. So we have been members of Manners for many years now, but finally we have started filtering routes that we think are route leaks. So what do we filter? We filter any route that doesn't have a valid ROA, so all invalids are dropped. And also, if you have a customer, you are our partner, and you have customers and you are advertising your partner's routes, which is, you're advertising your customer's routes, and this is totally acceptable with us, except that these routes have to be registered in your AS set object in Afrinic database, or ADB, or any other public database. Okay? So if you're a partner and you're wondering why these customers are not being served, so you either have to update the AS set object in the Afrinic, in this case, database, or you have to remove these advertisements from the OCAs. It's a good time to be talking about this because I hear tomorrow there's an RPKI training session that I will be personally attending, and I think it's so easy to just do a ROA or just change your AS set path, and there's no reason for anyone not to be doing this. What's also new is out of April, it's going to be a year almost now, we went to RTUDC and we pledged that we will be having 80% connectivity for all, if you want, underprivileged or like communities. So we are now, and I'll talk a little bit about it later, we are going into something that we call the RIX model, Routerless IX. That means, well, let me go into it right now. So these are the different ways that you could partner with OpenConnect, our CDN. So first, an ISP could do nothing and get all the movies and everything from transit, right? This is what any ISP could do. The other way that you could do is, that's new, that's the RIXP, Routerless IX we call it. I don't know why we call it this way, but we, in this case, give caches to the IXPs directly. And in this way you can be a member of an IXP, and that IXP could have caches, and you could get the Netflix service through your membership. The third way you could have a relationship with Netflix is to be at an IXP where we are also present. So there are cities where we are present: Chicago, Milano, Paris, Rome, Romania, Bucharest, In every place, Johannesburg, Nairobi, everywhere that we are present, we have a POP then we will be a member at the exchange that is in that city. So you could also public peer with us through the local exchange. You can also have a private PNI with us, or you can have your own embeds. That means you put the caches in your own network and you serve only the customers that you choose, or only the prefixes that you choose to serve. So this is at a glance, everything we can do. In all cases, you have to establish a BGP session with us, either directly with us or between your router and the OCA, almost all the time. So it's always good to know BGP, of course, and to practice it well. What I see, because I'm dealing with Africa and some other regions, I see that the African ISPs have a tendency to advertise a lot of routes, more than like my bigger partners, say in countries like France or Italy. You have pages and pages of prefixes. I never understood why this is happening. If somebody knows, please let me know. I think that there's an over-advertisement. Maybe I'm thinking maybe people do not have a clear routing policy to segregate, say, this is my peering route, these are my transit routes. Why do I need the rest? Anyway, I don't know, so I'm putting it out here just as a question. So this is a close-up on the newest model, the routerless IX. Which is working very well in Africa. I'll show you in a little bit. So we'll give the caches to the IXP. The IXP would have to have a router that speaks to the internet. And then all members would have to opt in. If they want the Netflix service, they will opt into a specific committee, and then they will have the Netflix service. If the members already have embedded OCAs, or if their transit provider has embedded OCAs and advertising their prefixes, then they will not be served from the RIXP. Anyway, if you know any country that has an IXP that would like some caches, if you know any IXP that is, say, charging too much or giving you a hard time, just come and let me know. I'm here all day today, all day tomorrow. So a little glance, so as I said, we pledged 80%. I'm happy to say that in Africa, 81% of the African traffic is served from Africa. The 19% that you see are coming mainly from Europe, mainly from Paris, Milano, London, Frankfurt. These are the big hubs. And some is coming also from New York City. It's a shame. My goal, my personal goal, is to have 80% local traffic in every African country. That's what I'm working towards. And this is where I am right now. So we do have 2 POPs in Africa. So if you are in Nairobi, or if you are in Johannesburg, you can have a PNI with us directly. It costs you nothing. It costs you for the ports. It costs you nothing to get the traffic locally. A lot of players, big players in South Africa, we invite them also to peer with us in Kenya, in Nairobi, so that we maximize the use of these 2 POPs for Africa instead of getting the traffic from, as I said, London, Frankfurt, etc. And all the purple little dots are the routerless IX. I'm very happy to say that we are already, and our first was Sinks and Dinks. Where's Donald? Donald is here. He's the first partner here. He's the one who started all of this. And then we're also going to have, hopefully, also with Napa Africa in also Cape Town and Durban. So we have a good presence in South Africa, in addition to Jinx and Napa Africa in Johannesburg. We're going to have also presence in Cape Town, Durban, and maybe Port Elizabeth. Ed, we're looking into this. Okay, other countries, so we have now the following IXPs have their own caches and can give you local traffic in the following countries. So we have Uganda, Tanzania, Mauritius, Nigeria, Burkina Faso. So I'm very happy about that. And as I say, if you come from a country or have friends that have independent IXPs, open IXPs that accept all members, please come and let me know. We're very interested in giving them caches. I think that's it. Just a little reminder for me is important. I don't know, maybe for you, it has nothing to do with routing. So for us, local streaming doesn't only mean delivering the content locally, which as I see, I am really trying hard to do. But it's also working with the communities into making films. So we are a film company. We are making films in 44 countries. I'm very happy to say that we have content that is being made in South Africa, in Kenya, in Nigeria, as we speak today. Local films, local titles. We also have like a scholarship fund. We send people to school, and then also we have a program for young talents to find their first job with Netflix. That's it, thank you. Any questions?
Any questions, anybody?
Good morning, Mark Hamilton. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having presence in Johannesburg. It makes my life very happy. And that obviously helps me. My big bugbear with Netflix is the regionalization, where you can only see certain media in certain areas, which of course we can get around with virtual private networks, etc. And because we've got virtual private networks, my question is, why do you still insist on doing regionalization of what you can see from a particular region? Because that becomes a real bugbear, especially if you decide to travel somewhere else. You're watching something and then suddenly you can't watch it where you go, unless you then go out and get all the VPNs up and running. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, that's a good question. Actually, we changed this policy, so everything that says Netflix original, you can see everywhere in the world. Everything. So when the thing starts, it says Netflix original in so many languages. This, you're able to see anywhere. That's no restrictions on this. If your local cache doesn't have it, we'll go and get it from the nearest POP. We'll get it from Johannesburg or from Kenya for Africa. Okay? What you cannot see everywhere is licensed content. That it means when we buy a film that's already been finished or published by somebody else. And this is because of copyright laws. When we buy a license, they usually sell it to us for a certain geography. This is where the limitation is. So I guess you have to tell your wife to watch original Netflix content.
That's Justin from Washington. What is the minimum bandwidth requirement to get an embedded OCA? Is it 1 to 5 gigs?
Yes, so officially we say it's 5 gigs on our site, so you have to have 5 gigs of traffic. However, for Africa, I am doing 1 gig. Okay, so if you have 1 gig of traffic, you either can get a PNI or you can get an embedded, yeah. This might change, by the way, because as we reach saturation, this might go back to be, especially for us, South Africa, 99% of the traffic in South Africa is served by the POP in Johannesburg, and by the several things that you saw. So that might go up a little bit for South Africa specifically because you're so developed.
Hey, do you live from the dots? I saw the dots on the coverage for yesterday. Okay, so what interested me was like one presence in the Congo with these PXPs. And
in where?
In Congo, in the DRC. So
in Congo. I forgot to mention it.
Why is there no cash in the DRC in the sense that it's a lot of population and there is already PXPs in the country? Why do you think there is such a delay?
Thank you. We are also in DRC, in Democratic Republic of Congo, but I did not put it on the list. Thank you very much. So yes, this dot is real. We are in Yeah, Kinix. Yeah, we are in Kinshasa, and I think we're going to put one on the border with, what? No, not Gop, no, another one. Mumbashi, thank you. Mumbashi, yeah. Yes, thank you for that. It's a mistake. So we're also in DRC.
Hi, Graham.
Hi.
With you briefly mentioned plans and thinking of Port Elizabeth. Can you kind of mention what are the indications, what are the things that you need to see to make
Very good question, because that's what we have to discuss. So our criteria for routerless IX, okay? So it's going to have to be, you have more than 5 networks connected, and you're also going to have a little bit more than, close to 5 gig of traffic in order to deploy. However, what I've been told, I've been listening, especially in Africa. I've been listening, and people have told me that when you get the Netflix service into an IXP, a small IXP, this will help it grow. This will help it. It's like we're acting as anchor tenant. So in this respect, we are not really doing Netflix best interest, if you want, but we're listening to the communities. The communities are telling us, come and be an anchor tenant, and then we'll have more members, and this way we'll be contributing to the local traffic distribution. And so I'm willing to listen. No, Ed, no.
The whole pyramid ecosystem needs the supply and it needs the demand. So you're helping to meet the supply side of that equation.
Yes.
What I'm seeing, being an open access network and operator of last mile networks, at the moment, our infrastructure and the way the ISPs expect us to deliver the infrastructure is that every customer in Eastern Cape is backhauled to Cape Town and offloaded in Cape Town, and nobody is delivering content that I'm aware of. Okay, you're special. But none of the ISPs who are using the open access networks that I'm aware of are delivering content right now within the region. So the cache that you've got is going to be great. The problem that I'm seeing that we're not yet properly talking about is that the ISPs are going to put their pop there. The customers that are in Port Elizabeth are going to trombone back to Cape Town to reach the cache in Port Elizabeth.
Yes. It's true. You're absolutely right. The caches do not solve all the problem. The caches will offload between 70 and 99% of the traffic, depending on what people watch, right? But there's this daily fill, right? You have to fill the caches every night between midnight and 12 with 500 megabits per second. So there's the fill traffic to take care of. All things considered, every IXP managing his own or her own IXP has their own prerogatives, and at the end it's a small calculation that will tell you whether this fill traffic is worth to my members. And what I've seen happening, and we started like in Beirut, when I started the Beirut IX, we did the cash farm, because at the time we were paying $30,000 a month for 1 gigabit of international transit. It was to Marseille or to I don't know where. $30,000 a month. So of course for us, we wanted the Facebook, the Google, the Netflix caches, and we all divided the cost among all the members, and it made sense for us. So if it makes sense to divide that traffic up, or to have the local IXP carry the content and have all the members divide the cost, and it's less than what you would pay for, just you bringing all the traffic from Cape Town, it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, that's not for you.
So we'll do one last question, because this is between coffee and questions. So,
Salam, Carl here from Eurozone. I just want to find out, what's the requirements to get a PNI connection?
The PNI is also, in Africa, is more than 1 gig, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more than 1 gig.
great, that's some
Thank you.
cool stuff. Thank you very much. so we are now up for a break until the top of the hour.
Thank
So
you.
let's be back right about 11
It's
o'clock,
great.
and that'll give us plenty of time to get some coffee, stretch our legs, have a smoke, what have.